United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start time was 6 o'clock. And first up, public comments, which we don't have anybody that's signed up. So we'll pause this meeting and start our public hearing.
Yep. So yeah, tonight we just have the public hearing on the tentative teaching contract. Seeing really nobody here that wasn't part of the bargaining, there's probably not a lot to explain other than if the board has any questions. I will say, I want to thank publicly the bargaining team. I think we did a pretty good job of streamlining the process this year. We got it done pretty quickly. Do want to say that obviously I wish that we could have given more or given some to the base or that sort of thing, but I didn't feel we could afford that this year. And thank you to the bargaining team for being understanding about that. But yeah, it was a pretty good bargaining session. Casey, do you have anything to?
Do you have any questions?
And maybe I'm a little behind on this. I did read through that today, and I just caught the highlights, right? I mean, the highlighted parts were what changed, right?
Yeah.
So was the stipend just kind of a one-time stipend? Is that the $750 instead of putting it on the base? It's just a stipend this year.
Correct, for this year.
Okay. And then I noticed that, like, I think sick days or something payout changed to $50 or something.
Yeah.
Retirement.
What was it last time?
It was 35.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I didn't go back and pull the other contract and compare them, so.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it seemed like for the most
Yeah,
part.
just some other language stuff.
A lot of date changes.
Yeah. Few things that they brought to us, few things we brought to them, and yeah, it all worked out pretty well. So yeah, it's just kind of really minor changes, really.
How did the insurance end up? Again, I didn't compare last year to this year.
So we had a 2.25% increase from our trust, which is phenomenal compared to other places out there that are seeing anywhere from, I've heard other superintendents anywhere from a 9 to a 15% increase in insurance rates. So yeah, 2.25% increase, and we've agreed to pick up that increase for the teachers too. Okay. So
I don't have any other questions. Thanks for kind of giving me the quick and dirty summary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it's bargaining or whatever. What were some of the big wins or losses that the teachers were asking for that they didn't get? I don't know.
Being here. When you're looking at this one, I guess when you're thinking of the overall one, you're going to see your ECA schedule is adjusted in case if you were looking at that. The athletics portion. So I think John met with you in regards to his plan with that. So that went through. So you're saying the athletics we will attempt to do the academics this year, and similarly to see if we can kind of streamline within the same budget what we're looking on academically. The 2.25%. We did get parental.
Instead of
parental leave.
Maternal or paternal and adoption was separate, we just linked all of paternal together.
So there's 5 days of paid leave for birth of a baby or an adoption of a baby.
And that's something new?
It was not maternal, didn't have any.
There were more days added, and there was a consolidation. Didn't matter if it was your birth child or adopted child, and it didn't matter if you were man or woman.
That was new.
Which is a win, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm trying to think of the other big ones. There was a lot in the 401A and 401B, depending on that, so there was a lot of changes in regard to that. So teachers that have been here for longer than 5 years, we talked about transferring their days. Currently, you can only transfer 3 days at a time, but we upped it to 5. So we have teachers who have come from other districts, especially those who are transferring mid-career that have a lot of days in another district. And it takes them a long time to earn those back up, especially so if they have a family and you use all your days right away because your kids have the flu for 2 weeks, now you're out. This gives them a chance after 5 years to put a few more in.
So they could come, after 5 years, they could come here with 25 days?
No, they can start transferring 5 a year. So if I came from another school and I had I had 20 days at another district, I could send 3 a year. So it would take me 7 years to get all my days from the other district to come in. So once you've been here 5, you can start transferring 5 a year rather than just 3 a year.
So it's the new contract, they upped it to 5
We
instead.
have
Yeah.
for after you've been
5
here for
after
5
5.
years, so you can't get them immediately, but once you've stayed a while. And then retirement, for those who are retiring, if they wish to donate any of their accumulated days, they can donate into our sick leave bank. I think the other big ones. PCA was a big one.
Yeah, the
Just
ECA changed.
getting it
So
organized
not
differently.
increasing, but just shifting.
Yeah, and I want to thank John Regatius publicly for that too, because he put in a ton of work to do that. It looks really good, and he was able to do it with no cost at all. Shifted money instead of trying to, put more money into it that we really don't have right now. So I think we did a really good job of becoming a little bit more competitive without costing a bunch of money. So John did an excellent job on that.
Absolutely.
So I feel like those are all wins. What
Okay.
are the losses?
All right. I'm gonna do something. So, okay. So when we went to ratify the contract, we asked for comments or concerns at the end of that, and what we got was a lot of concerns. So from those concerns, I've kind of put this together for you. So. Reluctantly, with an ever-increasing sense of doom, is what a member of the Monroe-Gregg Teachers Association commented as they voted to ratify the contract. Our members ratified this contract, but they don't feel good about it. We wanted to bring you some of their concerns and thoughts. Concerns. Shifting funds from the education fund to cover operation cost. If the operations budget is so tight, harder consideration to cost-saving measures and that department staff should be occurring, rather than continuing to take funds from the education fund to make up for a lack of budget in that area. Teachers and instructional aides are taking the hits while the administration office is not. Cleaning, the current system of teachers' cleaning rooms is not sustainable. No matter how many cleaning supplies are provided, our classrooms will still not going to be clean. These teachers should not have to require to sweep, mop, dust, or wipe down surfaces on a daily basis. There simply isn't enough time to complete the task, even with student help. If we're expected to maintain our academic curricular track on time, then we cannot also clean our rooms from top to bottom. Teachers were willing to help to try to save money this way, especially when they've been told they would be compensated for their time outside of contractual hours. But now there's no money, and it's taken an entire quarter of the school year to get it set up in a reasonable manner. The teachers are over it and becoming more unwilling by the day to dedicate their own time to cleaning their rooms. A lack of plans. For too long, we've been reactive to everything. Teachers want a plan and decisions to be made. They want to see a thought-out long-term plan before actions are taken. They've always been willing to help, but it has always been talk and no action. It's time to act. Members felt the decisions were made to keep the lights on, but that hard decisions were avoided for months. Then rush decisions were made when they could have been avoided. It's a lose-lose situation, a member said. If we don't accept this contract, we end up with nothing. We do accept this contract, we're saying we're okay with the salary scale being frozen and not being paid for our time. So, as I said at the beginning, reluctantly, with an ever-increasing sense of doom, we ratified this contract. But we're not done advocating for our teachers or our students. Now is the time to do something. We've shown up for discussions, voiced our concern, we take on additional responsibilities, we contact our legislative representatives in the correct manner and hold our tongues when needed, knowing that we represent the district. We need you to show us that you're ready to do the same. We need you to stand with us. Now is the time to make the community aware of our issues and advocate for our students and our school. We need you to show up in the schools and talk to the teachers. We need you to initiate conversations with representatives about how their choices are impacting our schools. We need you to show you are with us, not just in words, but in actions. Right now, this district is hurting, and we are doing everything we can to reduce the impact on students. But our teachers need to see a light at the end of the tunnel, or at least a plan to make it down the track. Monroe-Gregg Teachers Association will continue moving forward and ensuring our students and teachers are supported here. Regardless of past choices or opinions, we know that everyone can find common ground for Monrovia's kids. So, like I said, these were things that came out as they ratified and things we were hearing from teachers, and we said we would bring those to this. Yes, we ratified, but they are not happy.
So like I'm just trying to ask a question, you know what I
You're
mean?
fine.
So, I mean, like I think one of the biggest negatives tones that I got out of that is, and I hope I didn't miss other things, but is the major thing, it's the cleaning part? That's the major,
It's a big
It's-
topic.
it's the big topic. So like when you say, show up, talk to the teachers, what are they,
They,
what should I and who should I?
if you appeared in a
talking to.
building, people would happily talk to you. They want to know that you will come and see. So when we say a building's not clean, we want you to see it. We want you to see what we're doing. Let me show you what cleaning a room looks like after you're fifth in line to wait for the vacuum cleaner. Let's show you how much time that's taking out of it. They want you to be there and say, sure, I'm trying really hard, catching a mouse in your trash can and things that are occurring now because of yes, cleaning is a very big topic. I think the fact that compensation was going to happen and then it did not happen, trust did not continue kind of forward, I guess. We were willing to help, but then it feels like we're being taken advantage of, so to speak. So.
And then, from a teacher's standpoint, what's the appropriate time for a school board member to show up in a school? You know what I mean? I don't know that,
Yes.
I've tried.
You have a job too. Yeah.
I mean, but I guess I don't know what is the appropriate time for
So if
some
you-
person just to show up and go, hey.
If you announce a day that you would be on campus, and you could find out our lunch times, and if you announced, and then you were in a specific place, then everybody who had lunch at that time could come and join you. And it would be, it would be an easy time to talk, because there's a, group of people available at that time. And, I think, people do want to feel heard, and it's not like we don't always feel heard here, but it would be nice to see school board members.
It is not just you.
Yeah.
It is an overall.
Yeah.
No one hears teachers anymore.
Right.
So if they feel you're hearing, we feel we're united more together as a group rather than a separation, so to speak. If you just show up one morning and they say you're gonna be here, then great. You say I'm gonna be here after school, you wanna chat, okay. The people who are gonna wanna talk to you are gonna show up. You're not gonna get everybody, but the people who are gonna want to reach out will be those people that show up.
Now, those people that show up, what would their expectations be as far as just a listening ear? Because, I think that's what I would
Yes.
struggle with is, I don't have an answer. I want you guys to be heard, but, it's hard to sit there and listen to somebody, whether you're agreeing with them. It's easy to sit there if you're agreeing with them. You're like, oh yeah, you're exactly right. It's hard to sit there if you don't have no control, and if you're just a listening ear, so I don't know.
But like you were doing just now, you're just taking notes, listening to people and taking notes.
Because
You
it's,
just feel heard.
yeah, from the bargaining thing, and not trying to keep this going on longer than what it needs to, I would think complaints would be, crowdedness in classrooms, prep time, not
That's the
enough
next
time to
fear.
prepare not enough time for your own lunch, for you guys to take a lunch, because you're having to do all that. I'm a little surprised at the type of complaints.
The complaints you're speaking of have always been complaints of teaching forever. So that's not something new on our end.
Yeah.
That, the things we're doing, class size always been a concern. It is a conversation that's popping up now when you're looking at potential budget tightening even further and reducing. If we reduce positions, then class sizes are going to increase. So this is something on everybody's mind, especially if you've got like kindergarten's class is currently a little bit smaller. So does that mean there's only going to be 4 first grades next year? So those are on people's minds. But if there was a plan that says, okay, if it reaches this number, this is what's going to go, it would alleviate some of those things. But right now, so much is up in the air, and we're trying to get everybody on the same page that we know it's going to be hard and we need to be in this together. And what we're asking is you to be with us in it together, I think, is with an open dialogue and not a separate. You're allowed to say something.
I think the cleaning is the biggest issue now because it's the most recent. The other things, like I don't have lunch, that's been that way for quite some time. Because I have to go meet or I call a parent or this, that, or the other. I think cleaning is the biggest thing because it's the last thing added. It's kind of the straw that broke Campbell's back for a lot of people because it is hard. Like I have a smaller class size, but we're eating snack and we're eating breakfast in the room, and that's hard to clean up. Like, you can't tell most days that I've swept my room or we've wiped down the room, because it's just always something to constantly clean, even if the kids are moving. You know, donut day, I would like to cry. Powdered
Donuts
sugar
are
everywhere.
sprinkles.
Yeah.
We have some recommendations for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a teacher, and I've not been at other school districts. I find that, is Monrovia the only school district, and I have a teacher, the only person I have to bounce off is I have a sister who has been a teacher forever. She's the only person I really have that can be like, you know, is Monrovia the only school district that you've ever heard of where the teachers are responsible for daily cleaning of their
To
classroom?
the level we're doing, yes. Within our district council, it got around real fast. Within our ISTA's district council, that we were cleaning, and they were like, what is going on? And their fear is that it spreads to other schools, then all of a sudden this is a cost-saving measure that other schools may attempt to do.
Is there a reasonable line of reasonable expectations of a teacher in cleaning their room?
We've always
You know, you
been
can't say, hey, we're not gonna
awesome.
do anything, but,
No,
you know,
we've
this,
always wiped
this type of
tables.
cleaning is reasonable, this
Yeah.
isn't.
The vacuuming is tough. The vacuuming is tough because I have a 3 o'clock meeting, and I go to that 3 o'clock meeting, or you coach a sport or something like that, then you're gone. So then that is over, so you wanna circle back around to your room and then vacuum. Or you can attempt to get it in the morning, or you're sharing a vacuum. One day I waited, I was the 5th person in line. I was there waiting over an hour to get the vacuum cleaner. Like, it's one thing that the resources are available, that you can do it right away, and it is short, but it was just one more thing. When there was compensation, we were like, okay, we're getting compensated some for our time, but at this point, you're saying, please stay after your contractual hours and do an additional job for the good of the school.
And are they saying is stay after their contractual hours, just because you don't have, there's not another minute in the contractual
You can't.
hour, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sweep around kids.
Well, yeah, and you could end everything early and perform during contractual hours, but then that cuts into educational time, yeah.
We can go the other way
Yeah.
and cut educational time for students and vacuum, but then we still have to get them out. I mean, vacuuming around 25 backpacks and 25 extra little bodies is pretty tough, because as soon as it's done and they're still in there, all their stuff appears.
So you talked about like the breakfast snacks. So obviously that's the first of the day type of. So run me through like what the day was prior, when we did have the staff that we needed. I mean, was it every evening you came in every day, and your room was vacuumed?
Well, when we had a
cleaned?
custodial staff that was doing a very nice job, yes. It was vacuumed. The room was vacuumed. mopped,
When was
floors
that?
were mopped. Over a year, if not this year, over a year ago, at least. That was when,
And this
Ralph
is unique to the elementary.
That's what I was gonna ask.
The
Is
middle
this, I
school
mean,
and
is
high
this,
school
would it be consistent?
Don't have nearly the issues with this kind of cleaning. I mean, we have
Just-
little scraps of paper everywhere when kids are about their notebooks. We have all sorts of big liquid drinks, and sometimes the trash bags leak when we're taking them out. So it's different issues in different buildings.
Has anybody even, or has I know that there were a list of volunteers that offered. Has anybody even taken up on that at all to try to work with that?
to the clean.
To clean?
Here was the concern. So with cleaning that we had discussed the possibility of volunteers coming in to clean, but now we're asking a person who is not from here that is going to enter your classroom where there are items that need to be kept confidential and things within there, and the trust of, also depending on the person coming in to clean, whether or not that person's gonna clean or sit and chat, or there was not a solid feeling that that was the best situation, that we have a volunteer come in to clean for us. So, or the perception of, we cut this position and now we're asking a volunteer to come in and clean to do the job prior to. It felt mixed. So, yes,
I guess I'm a little confused on the fears. I mean, a volunteer, I don't see a whole lot different between one of our community members volunteering and saying, I mean, everybody's gonna have a background check, right?
I guess the question is.
What
is it
fears
this-
would they be concerned with?
Are they parents of students in class?
That's our
Yeah.
assumption.
Like looking at paper, I mean,
They do it.
But could you, I mean, if
I wanna
that's
see what's going
if that's the biggest fear, I mean, is there a, you know,
I don't know, if
I guess
we
what
haven't
I'd
even,
say
we
is
haven't even went down
asking
that road to try it, I know
To
that,
your community, we'd like you to volunteer to come in and clean your school because we can't.
I just know that there were people that were willing, I just didn't know if they were ever given, if it was ever even.
To
Try.
clean, it was discussed amongst us whether or not that would be the best use of our volunteers. Most of them volunteer for other things, we're utilizing them in different avenues, not cleaning.
so,
So if you came in, some people would wanna talk about cleaning, some people don't wanna talk about cleaning at all. They have other issues that are at the forefront, so that's why it would be interesting to talk to, I mean, you're talking to 3 people here, but getting ideas from people who have different issues.
I mean, I think the way I look at it, I mean, I know that cleaning, I mean, there's a bigger problem of why we had to do that. I mean, let's just face it, it wasn't this, just pulled it, let's find something else for the teachers to do. Some of it is reactive, oh, I don't wanna clean my room. I understand that, and I mean, even my job that I have now, there's things that I have to do that, you know, if I had to volunteer to do it, no, I probably wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm doing it because I'm told I have to do it, and it's just part of my job. Does it make me happy? No, but I have to do it. So I kind of have that argument of it. I can see it as well, you know, it's just part of it. I understand the other side of it too. You guys have enough that you're doing, and I don't know about you guys, but I know my sister. You know, just because school's just because school's over for the day, her day doesn't end. She comes home on the weekend, she's grading papers, and, you know, if she's gonna has a day off, I think sometimes she spends more time preparing for that day off than the work it would've took to do the day. I understand that, and that's all at home and extra. So I know you guys have a huge job that is a lot bigger than the 7 hours that you're with students. You know, I wanna recognize that. I just still, you know, if you have problems, you know, what's the take? I hear people come with problems, but I don't hear a whole lot of solutions as far as, this is what I would do. You know, I don't ever hear that, so I would be interested in what, you know, we don't have a magic pot to go, oh, well, hey, suddenly we found it, you know. Kind of is that, I wish people could be more part of the solution to some of the problems. And then the other question I have, and I know we don't have you're high school, and then you two are elementary. If you identified that the hardest part is cleaning the elementary, what would the reaction of all the teachers if they come up with something that was like, we put custodians in the elementary to clean their classrooms, but we didn't do it for the middle school, and would those teachers be like, oh, hey, that's great for them, we can handle it on our own, or would we just have a big rat's net, you know, suddenly we would have another louder vocal group trying to get a solution to it?
I think that if you said something, I think everybody knows the elementary is the worst, but if you said, yes, they get cleaned every day, but I think you have to throw us a bone, like once a week, there's move your furniture and vacuum.
So your net is so,
Have we started the service provider custodian service we talked about? Is that in effect? Like when we're using?
Just one right now
Oh, okay.
at the elementary at night.
They did like a
I didn't know
mass
that
over, cleaning over, fall break, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was, if we were seeing that there was progress, obviously in that, or like you're doing a better job, or any feedback that.
I think the lady we have at night at the elementary does a good job for what we ask her to do, but she's still
with
not.
Contractors, or you gotta do it, you know, or. I just was curious if that was a positive thing that we've seen a little better.
so, and she's doing more of the common areas, right?
Yeah, she's not going into the,
Is those
building.
areas, you know, not to gloom and doom, but are those areas better than people thought they would be? I'm just asking, I mean,
She is doing what she is asked to do.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we're gonna get from here
don't wanna take over the meeting. I appreciate the feedback and the,
Fine.
you know, the questions and, you know, they're issues we have. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody has an answer, you know.
This is what they want, Rob. They just want you to come talk. Any of you, just come talk.
Don't have to have answers.
You don't have to have answers. Just a back and forth conversation is gonna go a long way right now for your staff. So,
Do you guys have like, what elementary lunches? Is there 3 or 2?
no, they're from 10 to 1.
Yeah, they're long.
Take a pick.
Oh, so it's like good.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of the
It's
day.
the most today.
Imagine eating lunch at 10 o'clock.
Yep. Second grade eats 10:10.
Or 10:30.
I do.
Yeah, but I can stop at the gas station whenever I want, you know. I ate at 10, I ate at 12. It's not being funny, I mean, you know, but I mean, that's a whole nother problem. I mean, there's just not.
Yeah, I couldn't get my daughter.
I think we all identify that there are issues. It's easy to identify issues. It's hard to identify solutions that are good
And they're
solutions
not
that
gonna be a
work for
solution. And we
every
know
side.
there's not a solution.
Not that there's
You're
a your
just-
side and our side.
These are the issues that popped up that are on each other's minds, that they are looking to be heard. If there's not a potential solution, that at least you have heard their concerns and you feel for them. Even that you acknowledge that, yes, this is not great, you know, would you be willing to try this and try it out and see if like it's just not great.
But the old COVID phrase, we're in this together, that would be a feeling that we're striving for.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else
So-
if they don't. So,
You have nothing else?
yep, and we don't have to take any action tonight, it's just for public comment, so.
So we'll adjourn that hearing and then we'll reopen up our initial board meeting,
Yep.
6:27, right?
6:27. And we will move on to item 4, which is the recommendation, personnel recommendation.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks to the board for letting us add a few other agenda items for tonight. We're trying to keep the November 10th meeting a little bit shorter because Schmidt and Associates is going to be here, and I think they're going to need a decent amount of time to talk about the facility study, so they've got some information to share with you, so add these few things here. So personnel report, I'm just asking you to consider a couple contracted positions. So these are both special ed positions that we've had posted for a little while. We're not getting any bites. We figured we wouldn't because it's, you know, people have their jobs right now. So these are both through a contracting agency, 2 different agencies. But we're really happy with both of these. One's a teacher, one's an aide. Both have a lot of experience. And believe it or not, it actually is going to be a little bit of a cost savings for us for these 2 positions. We're going to keep these positions posted because our goal is obviously employ our own. So they're going to remain posted. If anybody applies for them, we'll look at them as they apply for them. But right now, we definitely have to get these positions hired, and this is our only option right now. So just for your consideration on that.
So how does that work out if they're contracted but the position's open and you find a candidate that's?
From what I remember,
Is this
I
a
don't.
6-month contract or is it
No,
just
I
a
think
day-to-day?
I think it
runs
can
through
end at
5.
any time.
Yeah, well, it says it runs through 5/21/26, and like the page that we have doesn't have like an out clause necessarily, but it doesn't specifically say there's not an out clause either, so.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Kennedy, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sears, any further discussion on the personnel recommendation? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very
Item-
much.
Item 5, which is permission to accept the new school calendar.
Yeah, so once again, thank you to the teachers organization. They kind of take the lead on putting together some calendars and they send them to me to look at. So they sent me, I don't know, 4 or 5 different things to look at. And at the end of the day, we kind of settled on keeping it pretty similar to what we've done in the past. The only thing you'll notice is right now it is a 180-day calendar with those days, those PD days being listed as e-learning days. But we will apply for the waiver that we received this year. Again, but that doesn't open up into the second semester. So if we get that, I'll come back to you with a revised calendar that just turns those into days off for the students, and it would be 177 student days. So other than that, everything pretty much matches up to what we've done in the past.
I'll move to approve. Mr. Kennedy, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Blundell, any further discussion on the school calendar? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes 4-0. Consideration of the FFA field trip.
Yeah, so FFA got us a list of all of their field trips for the remainder of the year, which is great of them to do that because it kind of takes care of everything in one fell swoop. But obviously, some of these are overnight, some of these are out of state, or both. So those have to be approved by the board if they're out of state or overnight. So I would just ask you for your consideration of those that you see listed there. And I think it's all stuff they've done in the past.
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Blundell, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sears, any further discussion on the FFA field trips? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Consideration of the girls' basketball tournament.
Yep, this is an overnight request. Same thing they did last year. You approved the same trip last year, so it's just for an overnight, for one night, to play down in Vincennes. So it's not so much travel and getting up as early. So just ask you to consider that overnight trip for the girls' basketball team.
Motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Sears, do I have a second?
A second.
Mr. Blundell. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 4-0. And consideration of the cross-country regional event.
Yep, this is actually the retroactive one
This was
that I
mine.
talked to you guys about. We had 4 runners in the regional and wanted to get them down there so they didn't have to get up as early for that trip all the way down to Evansville. So just asking that you retroactively approve that trip that they already did.
Motion to approve.
A motion.
Mr. Kennedy, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sears, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 4-0. Item 9, other.
Just real quick, I'll say, once again, thank you to the teachers' organization for the bargaining, how well it went. I will say this, I'm definitely working hard on trying to figure out the issues that you brought up. Don't want to deny that for a second. So I hear you, and working real hard on trying to come up with some solutions to help out there. I think I've got one idea that we'll talk more about at the next board meeting. See how that goes, but definitely understand what's going on, and I want to help as much as I can. So I'll continue to work on that. Other than that, that's all I have.
Do I have any final public comments? Then I just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Mr. Sears, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Blundell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
4-0.